Alright, so since I'm starting the recording again, first thing you always have to do is you have to factor. You have to factor out common factors. Then you always look for common factors first. Then you factor if it's factoring by grouping, if it's factoring a quadratic, if it's just factoring out a common factor. You do whatever you have to do in order to factor. Now, once every part is factored, every numerator, every denominator, it has to be in factored form. If we're just multiplying the expressions, it becomes one big rational expression where we could just start dividing out common factors. If it's dividing, what we'll have to do is we'll have to take the idea of multiplication by the reciprocal. So if, for example, if you have 1 over 2 times 7 over, or divided by 7 over 5, what this is, we don't have a division method. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to multiplication by the reciprocal of the second rational expression. So 7/5 becomes 5/7. And then it becomes 1/2 times 5 over 7, which would be 1 over 14, or 5 over 14 rather. So that's what's going to happen. Division is right after you factor everything, or even before, you can do that, it's interchangeable. But as soon as there's dividing, you're going to change it to multiplication by the reciprocal of whatever the second rational expression is. And then it just becomes an exercise of factoring and dividing out common factors. Whatever's left is what's going to be left. So, are there questions on just the basics of what's going to happen? Yes? Well, in a fraction like this, there's no factoring that goes into it. Yeah, that's just kind of showing you what's going to happen. So, as long as you have a fraction here, you change it to multiplication, then you flip the fraction. That's all you do. Alright, so now what I would like you to do is I would like you to take out the worksheet that I just gave you. And we're going to go through some examples here. And we're going to talk about and simplify. We'll do and simplify here. Now, one thing that we didn't discuss yet is this idea of excluded values. And when it talks about excluded values, it's going to be x values that makes the fraction undefined. Now, what can't we divide by?
0.
Right, we can't divide by 0. So, in this case, the excluded value, I'd say 12x is equal to 0. What's my x value going to be? Well, if I divide by 12, x is equal to 0. So my excluded value is going to be 0. So that's my excluded value. And that's basically taking the denominator, setting it equal to 0. But now, what we can do is, we can say to ourselves, all right, let's factor the top and factor the bottom completely. In this case, we can use our factoring rule, or exponent rules, because we have those, because it's just, this is a monomial divided by a monomial. And we can use our different rules if we really wanted to.